Welcome everyone, Farmer Cop here. This is going to be a guide to producing silage in Farming Simulator 25. So this is for all platforms. I will also have time codes down below in the description to kind of help guide you through the process of what we're doing. And you can also use the YouTube controls down below to slow me down, since I do tend to talk a little fast if you need to. So just be aware of that. But yeah, again, all platforms, base game equipment, nothing crazy fancy modded, anything like that. In the future, hopefully we get what are called fermenting silos. We don't have any of those in the base game. We never have. So that might be the easiest way to make silage in the future. Just be aware of that. If you see a mod out for a fermenting silo, that's probably the easiest way to make silage, but we don't have one. So how do we make it in base game? Well, there are basically two types of silage, or two types of ways to make silage. First one is we need to grow grass and bale it and make silage bales, or we need to take corn or grass and put it into a bunker silo, which I have that big concrete bunker silo over there, and then we need to ferment it into silage there. So if you need to know how to grow corn, I'll put a card up on your screen right now to talk about growing corn, and then you can use that to figure out how to get to this step. Once you have the corn grown, we can use it for silage. You can harvest it for silage a state before it can be harvested for grain, or you can still harvest it when it's fully harvest ready. It should be about the same yield. And then grass, again, if you don't know how to grow grass, I'll put a card up on your screen right now to get you how to grow grass. And then once you get to the point of growing grass and we get the grass on the ground right here, we can go ahead and use it for silage. So I've basically just gotten us to this point. The other videos will get you up to here. Those other videos are going to cover how to get to where we're at right now with grass and with corn. So pretty straightforward. Now, grass has two ways that we can use it. One thing we can do is we can take I turned it off. We can take a tractor like this with a forage wagon. So forage wagons we found in here under forage wagons. Any one of these will do. You can also add a silage additive tank to get a 5% yield bonus. I did do a video on silage additive as well. I'll put a card up on your screen right now so you can take a look at that video if you want more information on that. But then all we're going to do is we're just going to pick some of this up. I'm not going to pick very much of it up. I'm just going to pick, oh goodness, maybe 2,000 liters. Yeah, somewhere in there. Just a little bit. So yeah, you can just pick this up until you get enough off the field or however much you want. And then if it's in here, we want to make it into silage, we need to put it, since it's a loose product, into this bunker silo here, which I'm going to open up our help menu in the upper left-hand corner. You can see over there it says fill level, chaff 0, and then compacting 0%. Now obviously this is grass, not chaff, but I hit left control I to start unloading. And you can see now we have a chaff fill level there. It turns into chaff when it goes in here. It's just basically the generic term for everything that we're going to turn into silage. So that's how you do it with a forage wagon, just like that. Pretty straightforward. Now, if we took the corn over here, let me just tab over to it. We're just going to turn this guy on. The pipe should be unfolded. Oh, it was, my goodness gracious, I'm having all sorts of issues today. I turn it, now I'm disconnecting our header. I get it all turned on. This is a forage harvester with a corn header, which I can show you that in the store here. It just has a regular trailer attached to the back. Any one of these forage harvesters here will work for you. And then you just need to grab, nope. Go back in the store. I cannot hit buttons today. Any one of these corn headers there will do it. And you can see corn at the very bottom. Any one of those will do it. So make sure it says corn down there. Now, it will do other crops as well, but it's best to use corn for silage, and that's the one we're using right there. So as we start to go, we're getting a nice little yield of chaff off there. You can see that over on the right-hand side. You can see our chaff levels going up. We're going to grab all of this corn here real quick. I'm just going to put a quick cut. I'm just going to chop all this up and get it ready to be put over into our bunker silo. All right, I got a little lazy. I harvested some of it, then I just cheated in some with this cheaty buy any ping point that's not part of the base game, and nor is it a mod that is available to anyone, at least right now. But anyhow, we have chaff. So once you get a trailer full of chaff, and I struggled to turn into it here, our bunker silo, but basically you want to just kind of dump all of this into the bunker silo. The bunker silos can hold quite a bit. We're just going to put this in there and call it good. You can back in there if you want to make it a little bit easier for you, depending on what kind of bunker silo style you have. But you want to try to probably level it out as much as possible, so when you put it down, so we don't have like big dips like that and cause all sorts of issues. But once I get in here, I can go ahead and hit left control I to start unloading. Oh, get back to the right one there. There we go. Get back to our trailer. You can see it'll start unloading, and I want to pull forward as it's unloading. I don't want it to be a super crazy high stack at one point. I want to try to spread it as evenly as possible. It is a little tricky to do. And there we go. We got it all in there. So I'm just going to pull this off the side. We'll get this out of our way. We come over here to our bunker silo now. it has 58,571 liters of chaff in it. Now, obviously, we could put more in here if we wanted to. Now, it says compacting 8% over there. It's probably because we drove over it a little bit. We need to get that to 100% before we can cover this and let it ferment into silage. Silage has to ferment. So, and you also can come into the build mode here if you wanted to build more. They're under silos, so you can just place them in here. This one's not bad because nothing can spill out the back, and you can just kind of back in there and put it all in there. These guys, things can spill out the front and back of it, so you just got to be careful of that. They also will snap together, and you can place multiples together if you want to, which is kind of nice as a little feature, or you can place them separately, obviously. So I think if you go, yeah, you can't. It's hard once you get close to there, they're gonna snap together, so just be aware of that. Now we need to compact this. Honestly, I don't use the compactors or the levelers. These are the two that we have in the game. They're found in the store under levelers. You have the leveler here, and then silo compaction, you have the compactor here. I would just take your biggest tractor and drive across it as many times as possible. The heavier the tractor, the better. Just try not to get stuck. But we will use the proper method here. I can unfold that front leveler there. And even with this is the smallest bunker silo, so even the smallest bunker silo it will fit on. And then you can adjust it. And I'm going to go to the back. I'm going to unfold that. And then we're going to lower that down to the ground to hopefully put some gusto on it. Now the leveler is nice because it helps kind of push it all out. So it's not a bad thing to use. And see, now I'm not accessing it anymore because there we go. But you can see our compacting is going up relatively quickly. 23, 24. It'll take longer if you have larger amounts of silage. But there we go. Go across that. You can now back over it, or what I'm going to do is just drive around and go the other way. I don't want to push it back the other way because I don't want to start pushing it out. So you just have to be kind of a little bit careful of that. Do I have this thing actually lowered? It doesn't look lowered. There we go. Yeah, that's what I thought. It was showing lowered up there in the upper right-hand corner, or upper left-hand corner, excuse me. But it wasn't actually technically lowered. So there. Let's try to do this. We'll lift it a little bit off the ground. There we go. Now we're really pushing it around. So be careful again. You don't want to push it out the back because it won't count towards your fill level or anything like that, and you won't be able to ferment it if it's out the back. Now you can always push it back in, I guess, as well. But there we go. We're getting 55%, 58%. What I'm going to do is just go across this another time and get this completely done for us. All right, and there we go. I just hit 100% there. We're just going to drive the rest of the way off. I'm going to get this guy out of the way. Once it is 100%, you come up to it, and then it'll say up there in the upper left-hand corner, R to blanket the silo. We're going to blanket it. Yep, we're going to blanket that many liters, and then boom, we get this nice blanket over the top of it. And you can see on the left-hand side there, it says fermenting silage 0%. If I start to fast forward time a little bit, you can see it is slowly going by. It's 5% an hour, I believe is what it is. We'll just dip over to 10 o'clock here and see what that looks like for us. And let's see, are we at 10% or 9%? All right, so almost 5% an hour, but you can see it'll ferment over time. But before we come back to that and talk about getting silage out of there, we're going to talk about making silage out of bales. So there's kind of two thought processes here. You can either use a baler, bale the bales, and then use a wrapper to wrap the bales, or you can use a bale wrapper combo. So if we take a look at those in the store, down here under square balers, if you use one of these guys, you're going to have to use a different wrapper afterwards. And again, you can do this with square bales and with round bales. It doesn't matter. Round bales, this guy right here will bale and wrap at the same time, which is super awesome. So you can do that. You do also have to use bale wrap, Ronnie wrap, basically. You can use black, white, green, nature green, whatever color you want to use. You can buy that under consumables, and I'll show you how to just add that to your wrapper if you need to. If you're buying a wrapper, you still have to add Ronnie wrap as well. There's a couple important things to note, though. So first off, let's say we're making square bales. You can't do the small bales. 180, 240 centimeters, this is the different bale sizes we can make. When we go over to our bale wrappers, we want to make sure they can do our bales, so make sure you do square bales like this one can, and then it shows us 180 to 220. We'll make sure it can do the size that we want it to do. Now, if we go back out of here and we go to these guys in here, let's say we're using this guy, which we are. We can do 125 to 150 centimeter bales. The wrapper I have is this guy, which does 125 to 150 round bales. That's perfect. This one can also do round bales of that size. So make sure your size combo matches up. And if I get into a baler like this guy right here, nope, not the one I wanted to get into. Not the one I was close to. There we go. Up in the upper left-hand side, you can see change bale size. We can do 150 or 125. I'm going to leave it at 125 just to keep our life easier. But all we have to do with this, it already has a round bale net in it. We just got to go out to the grass field, and then we can just quickly bale a bale real quick. You can see our grass going up down their bottom right-hand side. And again, it has to be grass, not hay. Hay bales can't be wrapped. Straw bales can't be wrapped into silage. Just beware, that has to be grass. And there we go. We got that all done. It's ready to unload. What I'm going to do is just to make our lives easier, I'm going to come over here to unload it. And we'll just unload it right off to the side here. Perfect. Now I can get this out of our way. Now, if we were going to take that and wrap it, we'll use this Massey Ferguson over here. If I was to grab this bale wrapper here, which currently does not have any wrap in it, we get lined up, hopefully here a little bit better than that. There we go. I'm going to hit X to unfold it so it's ready to go, but we just need to pull up to a pallet of Ronnie wrap like I have here, and then hit R to reload it, and you'll see we are loading Ronnie wrap off of that pallet onto our baler, which now we're good to go. And we still have more on that pallet, so we're awesome. Now if we go over here to our bale, just approach it like this. It's going to grab the bale like that, and it's going to start wrapping it, which is great. And it's going to do it in the nature green color, which again, you can choose what color you want to do. And you also can turn automatic drop on, which is Z, which means as soon as it's done, which right now it's done, you can hit Z and it'll automatically drop them as it's done, or you can individually unload them by hitting Y. And I put a bale turner on this one so it turns them up on their side, but just like that. Now, of course, the last thing we can do here, let's get over back to our John Deere, is we can have this guy right here, which will bale and wrap at the same time. Now, if you bale hay and straw with this, it'll work just fine. It just won't wrap them at the end. And this has bale wrap already preloaded into it, so if I hit V to lower it down and B to turn it on, it's getting all set, ready to go. And as I start wrapping there, wait until it spits out the first bale here. Boom, there it goes. Now you have to wait while it transfers those. You can't just keep going. And now it's going to start wrapping that one. And while it's wrapping that one, we can start baling the next bale. So this is usually the most effective and most efficient way to do it. And I swear I ordered Nature Green for that, but maybe I didn't. You can see we have another bale ready to go. So I have to hit Y to drop that one off. And then it'll go get the other bale that we have ready to go. And it'll start wrapping that one as well. But that's how you make the silage bales. Pretty straightforward. We'll drive over next to our other one here. These do have to ferment, so you do have to wait for them to cement, if you ferment, not cement, good lord. You have to wait for them to ferment. They do take a little bit of time to do that as well, similar to the bunker silo. We'll go ahead and unload that one. Oh, did it not unload? Come on. There we go. There we go. If you go up to it, you'll see down there in the bottom right-hand corner, fermenting 0%. If you sell this off as it is, it'll sell as a grass bale, which you don't want. So just be aware of that. But again, if we fast forward time here, I'm assuming it's going to be a fairly quick fermentation process. So as soon as we get past the 11 o'clock hour here, we'll see what we have going on. And there we go, 3%. So a little slower than the bunker silo, actually, it seems to be. But they do ferment, and then, yeah, then they're good to go. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and bring you guys back in tomorrow in game, and we'll talk about how to get the silage out of here and what to do with the silage and stuff like that. All right, it is done fermenting. We actually had a notification in the upper right-hand side that said it was. So we can come up to it and hit R to open silo. You can open both sides if you want. Open silo there, and then you're good to go. That's your silage. As you start scooping it out of here, the rest of the plastic will go away, so you don't have to worry about that. And if we go over to our bales, they should be silage by now. Yep, silage down there, bottom right-hand corner, good to go. You can cut open the bale like that and remove the cover if you want to. It doesn't matter. It's still just as useful either way. And you can use silage again for selling. A lot of people use it to make a lot of money. It's actually one of the most profitable crops in game. And then you also can use it to feed your animals or make TMR and stuff like that. Total mixed ration. So it's got quite a few uses, but this is how you use it. How to get this stuff out of here. Now the bales, you can move around using bale spikes and stuff like that with front loaders. But to get this silage out of here, the only real good way to do it, unfortunately, is to use buckets. So you have to use like a front loader bucket to scoop it out and put it somewhere, or a telehandler bucket, or, I mean, you could use the massive wheel loader bucket's probably the best, the high tip with the massive wheel loader. Again, it's gonna be very expensive to buy that guy as well to go with it, but you can move 10,000 liters at a time, which is kind of nice. And then you can scoop it into trailers and sell it off or do whatever you'd like to do with it. But there you go. That's why I would say probably baling is probably the easiest for now, just because, well, they're nice little bales that you can move around. It's a lot easier. You don't have to worry about compacting and scooping stuff off the ground. And you can use like a bale collector, like, let's find one in here real quick, like one of these guys in here to move them around. So you can move your bales around with those, make it a lot easier for you to sell off and stuff like that. There you guys go. That is your guide to silage. If you guys enjoyed, please drop a like down below. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button up on the screen to join the Farmer Cop channel. And turn your notification bell so you don't miss any future videos I may post. This has been Farmer Cop. Thank you guys for coming and watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.